Hey, everybody. Finally, Friday. Oh, so excited. Finally got my tile job done for the week. Got a little short day today, and I had something exciting happen today that actually had a couple of things, but this one sent me over the top. And if you like old rods and reels like I do, you're going to like this one. So, on the way home from work today, I decided to stop by a little flea market over in Gentry, Arkansas, and he's got a little flea market there. And in the front side, it's kind of got all the frou-frou, pretty stuff and old stuff. And his wife kind of runs the front side, but in the back part, this gentleman's got a lot of fishing gear. And I've been there a couple times. That luge rod I showed you a couple weeks ago, oh, it's been about a month ago, I guess now, but I bought it there. And so today, on my way home from work, I had a little time, and I thought, I'm going to the flea market. I want to buy something today. And I thought I'm just going to buy me a few old crankbaits, and I did. I found a few old shad wraps there, and an old big O that, I come across, just an old barfish colored one that, Lord knows I needed another one, and I definitely needed a few more shad wraps. But I kept looking around there, and all of a sudden, behind the counter, I saw something. Something I've been looking for a long time. Been searching eBay and everywhere. Haven't seen one. But I saw this particular handle, and I went, oh, uh-oh. So I sneaked over there behind the counter, and lo and behold, there was a Fenwick HMG graphite rod. Now, this is a 5.5 footer. This was my reel I put on there because I got a story to tell around this, like always. 5.5 foot Fenwick HMG. Now, there was a time owning one of these rods right here was like owning a Browning Belgium-made shotgun. Now, you were somebody if you had one of these. You could say, oh, I have one of those. And that kind of helped your status a little bit if you had, because Fenwick, back in the late 70s and the early 80s, now, if you had a Fenwick graphite rod, that was something. Not everybody had one of these right here. Well, my dad had one. He had a 6-footer, and I'm going to find one of these days somewhere. I don't know how, but I'm going to find one. He had a 6-foot HMG graphite, had this exact handle on it. That's when I saw that behind that counter. I was like, oh. And he had a 5,000, red 5,000, just like this one on it. All my young life, that was in the rod box. Now, he didn't use that rod that much, but, back then 6-foot rods were kind of the beast, and it was kind of, I don't know if your childhood was like mine, but there were some things you just didn't mess with as a kid. Now, you could pick up some, I could learn to cast with some of them old loos and stuff, but that one was kind of off limits. That was not the rod that you picked up and doodled with. And that's how that old HMG was. I think it was a gift from my mother. And back then, that was probably $150 for that. And back in probably I think the reel was a 77 model. That was a lot of dough for a rod and reel. But as time went on, as I got a little older, probably when I was 11, 12, 13, 14 maybe, I guess, my dad had old 5000C, that 6-foot rod. He tied me a white 1/2-ounce spinnerbait on there, and that's what I'd throw all day long. And every now and then I'd catch a great big old bass. I caught 3 or 4 5-pounders on that old graphite, that rod and reel. You got to understand, as a kid, being a little probably wound for sound, these old 5000s, 3:8 to 1 gear ratio. You put a 1/2-ounce spinnerbait on there, you can't reel fast enough. You reel your life away, and this bait still ain't coming in. It was perfect for a little kid. And I'd chuck that old white spinnerbait with that green and white spotted pork frog on there all day long, and eventually Every now and then a big old bass to get on there. Later on, my dad let me have that old rod, and eventually it broke. I caught a lot of bass on that thing, but it broke, and I don't know what happened to all the pieces of it. You know, when you're younger, you don't think about, I ought to hang on to that. But I kept on and found one pretty close. I'm super stoked about this. I've been wanting one for a while now, and this is a start. If any of y'all have one out there, right here, I'm your guy. I'm interested. 6-footer, heavy, medium heavy, HMG. You let me know. I might just buy it from you. Good memories of this old rod, or this looking at this. It just flashes back to me. That old brown, that was such a pretty kind of golden brown color rod. They were just top notch back then. It was the thing. I'm super excited about it. I'm sure it's hard to understand just how excited I am about it, but I'm stoked. But I get home from there. I'm going to add something else to this story, and I love people. I tell you what, I'm so blessed to have so many wonderful people in my life, and I had something happen today on top of this that made it an epic day. Well, I guess a good friend of mine, I made this video the other day about my old Bigfoot. Well, I guess a good friend of mine had reached out to Lucy and said, hey, I want to get my hands on that Bigfoot of Chris's, and I'm going to get his name put on that thing. I'm so humbled by this. He come carrying this in here, and I'm like, oh, I looked over on the wall where this one hangs at, and I was like, it's not there. I was blown away. Right there. He took it. He got with Lucy. They snuck it out of my shop, and he took it and had my name written on the side of it. And I've been working on my aluminum rig that I've been working on for a while. It's got a hand-controlled trolling motor on it, and I'm going to put this on there, and I'm going to fish with it. Just like I'm going to fish with this thing. And maybe we're going to go whack some bass with these two things right here. I'm pretty sure we will. What a day. I am one blessed individual. I can't thank everybody enough. I've kind of get back to posting videos. I've caught up on some work, and man, it's been fantastic last couple of days. I can't thank all of you enough that reached out wanting to buy some of those white spinnerbaits. Been building them things like bananas. Thank you so much. I may even get to go fishing next week. I'm pretty stoked about that. And I'm just a happy guy. I can't thank y'all enough again, and catch you next time.